stream up for about 35 seconds.
Okay, and you'll call.
Welcome to Meet the Candidate with your host, Sue Lonnie Madsen. Meet the Candidate is your opportunity to see local candidates and hear about the experiences that have shaped their lives. Meet the Candidate is a nonpartisan community project brought to you by our friends at Greater Spokane Incorporated, Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, We Believe, We Vote, and Better Spokane. Now, here's Sue Lonnie.
Candidate, and my guest for this session is Steve Hoffman, who is running for the U.S. Senate. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
Doing fine, and looking forward to getting acquainted. This is the non-political, just let's get to know the candidates as a person. And I always start with, where did you grow up, and what was your early education like?
Well, I grew up in Ohio along the shores of Lake Erie, about halfway between Toledo and Cleveland, and my parents owned a small fishing bait and tackle business, and they kept that going, especially my mom. My dad too, because he worked full-time for General Motors. So I feel like I got a really strong ethics, work ethic from my parents. I was actually spent a lot of time working in the business myself, helping catch minnows and bring them in to be sold and all that kind of stuff. And so education was a public high school education, which I thought was pretty good at that time. And math was kind of my favorite subject because I had a really good teacher in math, I think. And so I spent summers or fishing and stuff like that. That was one of my main things I did. I did hunting too with my dad. Now, I'm not sure that I was ever really responsible for the demise of one of those poor ducks, but I was a pretty lousy shot.
But it's good bonding time with your dad.
Yeah, he loved it. I just thought it was kind of cold. We started at like 4 in the morning, but anyway.
Well, after that, it sounds like a lovely childhood. After that, did you go on to some further training or education?
Yes, I spent, out of high school, I went into the U.S. Navy, and I spent 6 years in there, and they sent me through 2 years of schools, and I ended up on a submarine, and I was on that for 4 years. So it's amazing what you can get used to, but I was, in that experience, I always felt like I looked at how much energy and time went into just the war machine. I think after I got out of the Navy, I think I probably opposed every U.S. war since. That was some time ago. I got out of the Navy, over 30 years ago now.
It's an interesting coincidence. You're the second submariner I've interviewed today.
Oh, okay.
So apparently you had a lot of time to think about things on the submarine.
Well, yeah, I read more then than I do now, but I don't have much time now.
While you were in the Navy, what was your home port?
Well, for a while, I was in Pearl Harbor, and so I was in there, but most of the time I was in Bangor Sub Base over on Hood Canal, and after they took our missiles off, and so we didn't know what we were supposed to do then, but so we were stationed.
Is that what brought you to Washington?
Yeah, so I went out to University of Washington after that, and because I loved it here, and I loved all the hiking, skiing, sailboat. I had my own sailboat for a while, and just like a lot of the outdoors. It's a beautiful area, and just kind of been here ever since. I think you can call me a Seattleite now. I've been here since like 1984. So.
Well, so that's you've got a wonderful life and everything's going well. And what prompted you to volunteer for elected office?
Well, I'm just looking at the way things are going, and everything we need is under attack. Public services that working folks need. Our unions are under attack. I'm a strongly supporter of my union. I'm a shop steward, representative on the job and recording secretary for my local. So all those things are threatened, and I just felt like working people need a working person in Congress who will fight for them. And definitely I'm a working person. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a state employee, which definitely means I'm not a millionaire. So I wanted to just represent folks and defend, help build a movement to defend those things like our rights, our union rights, our civil rights and civil liberties.
What agency do you work for?
I work at North Seattle College. It used to be called Community College, but it still does the same thing basically. And so I've been a maintenance person doing the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, maintenance and repair, and electrical systems for the campus, and keeps me pretty busy since there's only one of me with my skill set in the whole place. So, yeah.
We're losing a lot of skilled tradespeople, and we need to refill those positions.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are retiring. I think that a young person could get a good career in those kind of fields.
Yeah, career technical education is something that's come up a number of times today. I always save the last minute or two for the candidate to directly answer this question. How do you see the duties of this elected office, and why should voters choose you?
Well, the duties are to put forward an alternative approach that and fight for legislation that will help working people. Right now, it seems like the duty of Congress is to take care of the rich, and to pass free trade agreements and wage war on working people all over the world. And so I'm thinking that my duty would be to oppose that in the Congress, oppose the wars for certain, because I think we're already spend more than 10 times more than the next 10 countries combined on military expenditures. So we don't need to do that. We should be closing down those military bases and reorienting, retraining soldiers to do things like, fix the culverts that need to be fixed so that the salmon can get back upstream, which the state is supposed to be doing. Those kind of things, And so my duty is to, I see my goals as presenting an alternative to the capitalist business as usual. And is that
okay? It was your 2 minutes, and I think that's a good enough pitch. I really appreciate you making time to join us here on our live remote, and I wish you good luck and a lot of fun with the campaign this summer. Enjoy your time.
Okay, thank you very much. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Meet the Candidate. Spokane Talks thanks our community-minded partners, Greater Spokane Incorporated, the Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, We Believe We Vote, and Better Spokane for helping make Meet the Candidate possible.